The Women's Creative dares their listeners to hurdle their dreams. Tune in to our weekly podcast to hear from individuals who are breaking down barriers, solving problems, and making the world a better place. Hear the stories of these business owners who chose to take the road less traveled. Join us for Not There Yet.
Hello. Welcome to Not There Yet. This is Bianca Fitzpatrick from The Women's Creative. I am the marketing director.
Hey everybody, it's Stacey Pugh, events director with The Women's Creative.
And we just had this incredible interview with Morgan from Date Ideas and Things to Do.
It was so great.
It was incredible. But before we go into that,
right,
we're going to do a quick roll call. Let's see. So what place today or this week have you visited that's local?
So there is a new development in Midtown, kind of Midtown downtown, and it's called the Malone.
Okay.
And it is residential and co-working, and it's going to be so amazing. So they already have residential spaces occupied, and then soon they'll be opening up the co-working space. So Malone is named after Annie Malone, who is actually a beauty phenomenon who was back in the 20s and 30s, you know her. She was like the first millionaire, the black woman millionaire of St. Louis. And the space is really special and beautiful. So if you have a chance and you know someone who lives there or is co-working there, definitely check it out.
Yeah, there's a lot of like restaurants and businesses starting to open up there. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. How about you, B?
Well, you know what? Right now, we are recording in Shock City Studio.
Yes, it is so amazing here.
Shout out to Shock City for letting us use their space for our podcast.
Yes.
Actually, my band records here all the time. And so we recorded our album here. And so they're doing our mixing and mastering. So for whatever your needs are for podcasts, music, recording, anything, they're your go-to. So shout out to Shock City.
Shout out.
All right, so Date Ideas and Things to Do.
Yeah.
Stacey, give us a quick bio on Morgan.
So Morgan Casey is the founder and creator of Date Ideas and Things to Do, and it's basically this huge phenomenon group on social media, on Facebook. They have over 600,000 different subscribers.
Crazy.
16 to 17 cities, and they're literally teaching you how to date. And outside of that, they're just having all of these platforms and marketing for different businesses. And so if you want to know how to market, she's probably your go-to when it comes to marketing your business. She's like the mastermind behind it. Yeah. So her groups are just exploding everywhere. So
and this
is
for like dating your significant other, dating your friends, dating your family.
Yeah.
Like there's so many different types of events.
Right.
Like literally that is my only search engine.
Correct.
For things to do.
Yeah. Anything that is not the same anymore. Just go to Date Ideas and Things to Do to find out what to do.
Yes. So Stacey, what?
Right.
Okay, we're gonna prep and prime our audience. What was your biggest takeaway from our conversation with Morgan?
I would say what stood out the most to me was patience. Having patience with yourself, having patience with where you want to be at in your business. I think that was so profound and on brand to what our podcast is about. And so just knowing to continue to keep practicing that is so important in business. And just reflecting upon things that you might not want to say out loud, but you are like dealing with, empowering through. And she talked about her mental health.
Yeah.
That's really, I think, major and important to be able to feel safe in that space to talk about it and share it with people, because it can inspire other people to talk about their mental health and how they are championing through, what that looks and feels like for them. So I won't go into too much. You all have to tune in to listen to it, but it definitely resonated with me. And I hope that it resonates with the listeners as well.
Yeah, for sure. I know. Talking to her, it helped me to reveal some truths about my mental health and what I've experienced. And you hear someone say it for the first time, but that's something we've all been experiencing. I know for me for over 10 years. Yeah. And so it's now becoming normalized, kind of having that conversation and not feeling alone.
Correct.
Or we were raised in a generation of like sweeping things under the rug and acting like things are okay or just dealing with things alone. And so it's nice to know that you have a community of people that can relate to you.
Absolutely.
But then that also can give sound advice about, how to work through some of those issues.
Yeah.
And we all have not even arrived in that. It's a roller coaster. Life is a roller coaster. We have great days and we have challenging days, but it's always nice to have a community of people that can support through that.
Absolutely. I agree.
For sure. All right. Well, That's it for y'all.
That's it, y'all.
I hope y'all enjoy this interview with Morgan Casey from Data Things to Do.
The Women's Creative couldn't be more excited to record our weekly podcast at Shock City Studios. Their large format studio specializes in music, podcasts, and audiobooks. If you're looking for a space for you, call Shock City Studios.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. My name is B.
My name is Stacey.
Yeah, we're from the Women's Creative, and you are tuning into Not There Yet, The Road Less Traveled. And we are so excited for our host here today. We have Morgan from Date Ideas and Things to Do. Morgan, how are you?
I am good. I'm
Hey,
excited to be
Morgan.
here. What's up? What's up?
What's
Yeah,
up?
thank you so much for being here. So we're just going to jump into it and let everyone know who you are. Like, you know.
Yeah, so I am the owner of Date Ideas and Things to Do. It's a media and advertisement company that started, honestly, just from a Facebook group maybe about 2 years ago. My fiance and I, Donna Thomas, started it thinking we'd have like a couple hundred people follow it that wanted to see the things we were doing in the city. And I think we had like 5,000 members in the first week. So, yeah.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
Our whole life changed.
That's, I mean, seriously.
Instantly became went viral, right?
Yeah, so 2 years later, we're at about 650,000 plus members across the country
Awesome.
in 17 different cities and growing
In
What
2
do you-
years.
in 2
And
years.
so, what are your top cities?
St. Louis, of course, that's our
Yeah.
hometown.
Hometown.
Then we have Kansas City, Chicago, and Atlanta. So
Nice.
that's our top 4.
Wow. Okay, that's incredible. So now, I mean, people are hearing this is like, okay, this got to be a scam. It's not.
She's
So,
a real person.
I mean, you come from corporate. So, like, how
Yeah.
did you get from corporate to being one of the top
like marketers, like on a social, on a big social
on a huge
platform.
platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I was a memory care director it would have been 10 years last year. And I did that, and that was my passion, like working with seniors, being able to like host events for them and putting together different things. I remember one of my proudest moments was breaking a world record for the longest applause to raise awareness for Alzheimer's. So doing things like that, like that's always been in my nature of bringing the community together. Anytime I would do big events, like I did a senior prom with them, I would invite like the local fire department and police officers and things like that, just to really bring in community. So I like to look at it as all of my corporate work was actually training me
Absolutely.
for what my, career was going to be now. So, yeah.
So you transferred all of those skills, and it seemed to be pretty natural. I mean, I think that's probably one huge part of why, Date Ideas and Things to Do is so successful. I mean, you were already in your pocket with it. You were just sort of switching the community of people that you work with.
Yeah, I think the best part about it is that my job is literally to just be myself and go places and explore my city and fall in love with my city again. I think sometimes in St. Louis we can get caught up in a lot of things that we see on the news and a lot of the crime and all of those things. And so I love that we have a space where it's strictly about positivity and about uplifting business owners and new places, local places, and all of that. So yeah.
So you mentioned your fiance Donna. I love me some Donna.
Yes. My girl.
Your love story is very special. If you want to touch on that, but then also like, how has that impacted Date Ideas and Things to Do?
Yeah, so Donna and I have a very unique story. We were both born on the exact same day, April 17th, 1991, in, I've never mentioned the hospital, but St. Mary's Hospital. We also went to the same high school, the same college, and we got together planning our 10-year class reunion. So the biggest questions people say, well, when did you all actually meet? And it was high school. We had a mutual best friend, but Donna and I weren't the closest. How do I put this in a way that won't get me in trouble? She was prom queen.
Right.
I was class clown, so we were just completely
Complete
different.
opposite.
We're different,
Yeah, that's it.
Our goals in life were just a little off. So, but yeah, I would say the way that it's impacted the business is, I don't know if this is exactly how you may have pictured me to answer this, but what I need to touch on is the fact that the support that our love has for for each other allows me to run the business and grow the business to its best potential. So like if I didn't have a partner that allowed me to walk away from an amazing salary that bought nice purses and shoes, I wouldn't be able to put in the time that's needed to run this business.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think there's different moments that I can think of in our relationship that caused me to like fall more in love with her. And one of those moments is coming home and saying to her, hey, I got to make a choice. Either I have to walk away from my career or walk away from the groups. And I said, I believe in what my vision is and I want to go after it. And she said, okay, do it. She's like, I got you.
And
that's so amazing.
She's a teacher full time.
Yes.
So, teacher salaries are a little different. So the fact that she was okay with taking that risk and us struggling a little bit to get to where we're trying to go, not there yet,
Right.
means a lot.
Yeah, it's been amazing seeing that transition because, like, we're friends. I know you. Seeing you in that space working in corporate America and doing all the work, with the seniors and then finding the love of your life and then doing this work with Date Ideas and Things to Do. Like, that season and that turnover has been amazing to watch. So I'm, like, really proud of you. I want to say that on the air, right?
Cry.
Like, for the people here. I'm not going to cause tears, but it's like, yes, we're not there yet, but we're on our way. And that's what's so cool and dope about this conversation. And just like what you're doing is that you're on your way and you're doing something that's like really big, not just for like the community and for the people who need it, but for yourself too.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. And it means a lot coming from Stacey. I tell everybody this that knows both of us, but I think it's important that whatever part you are in life and entrepreneurship, it's important to surround yourself around people that you want to be like, or that people that inspire you or motivate you. And that's one thing that I love about Stacey is that, like she said, from the beginning of corporate world, I remember calling her crying one day and saying, I'm tired and I can't keep doing this. And my friend gave me not just the yes that you want to hear, but it's sure, but make sure you have a plan and you do this, and having people that coach you, even when it's times you may not even want to hear that or something, that's so important. So I just encourage anybody that's stepping out into, something new to make sure you're surrounding yourself around good people.
Yeah, that's very sound
It's going to
advice.
keep it real.
Yeah.
It's going to be straight with you, who's going to keep your head solid so that you're just not, like, some people are going to say, just go and you'll figure it out. Like, the plan was important.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's where you're here at right now. So that's so cool.
I love that.
I love it.
So, Morgan, what are 3 traits that got you where you are today? I know we kind of touched on some already just in our natural conversation, but for listeners that are really want to like pick apart what you're really saying and really apply it to their lives, what would you say that is for you?
Yeah, I think the number one thing is probably being humble. You have to be humble. We don't know everything. As much as we may think we do, you have to stop and be able to listen and learn from others. And I think that's allowed me to get into a lot of the spaces that I'm in. I didn't graduate from college. I don't have like this, certain degree or anything, but I've been able to be in spaces that most people, if you didn't have a degree, probably would not be in. And I think that's because I've humbled myself and allowed myself to connect and network with people that I knew could teach me things. So I'm grateful for that trait of mine. Probably just another one would be being able to be creative and not afraid to try just the strangest things.
Right.
And what's funny is it's like the things that go most viral for me, like especially with events that I may produce, are things that most people wouldn't even want to attempt to do. They'd be like, that's lame or something. But when you try it, when you put it out there, people fall in love with it. And then the third one, patience. Because
that's a good one.
That's solid.
I think one of the biggest misconceptions on the internet is that we see all these good things happening to all these people, and we think that it's supposed to happen like that. And no, it takes time, and you can't give up because you're in business. You're gonna fall. And I know that sounds so cliche. People say, you fall, you get back up. That's just how whatever. Maybe it's the Aaliyah song, but
It is.
so I'm like, cue music, but that's so real, because that's gonna happen. It's gonna continue to happen. And I'll give an example, and that's not just with business. That's just life in general. My 9-year-old son, he came home yesterday from his first day of school. And he said, "Mom, no one made fun of me today." I said, "That's good." I said, "But it's gonna happen, right? Like that it's going to happen. So don't go to school thinking that it's going to be perfect like this every day. No, go to school knowing that things will happen, but prepare yourself for when they happen and how you will handle them and how you will stay in character and you won't get, in trouble at school. So
Yeah.
just preparing and being patient.
That's good.
That's really great advice.
It sounds so simple, but
Yeah.
like when you apply it,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, this is real. So okay, if someone ended this podcast having learned one thing about you, what would it be?
Something I speak about a little bit, I'm trying to get into it more, is about my mental health. I think that like everybody has their own part that they're supposed to do in the world. And I feel like when everybody does their part, that's when the world becomes a better place. So for me, I feel like I would not be doing the right thing if I just made it seem like everything is perfect and smooth and all of that, if I didn't really hit on the reality of my struggles with mental health. And sorry.
It's okay, friend.
Yeah. Hey.
When you're stepping into like whatever journey that's new, make sure that you like make time for self-care. I can't explain how important that is. For me to do a career that is based off of social media, where so many people say, oh, I'm doing a social media cleanse this week, I'm not going to get on. I don't have that option. Like, I have to be on 24/7. And I can't tell you how many times I want to just turn my phone off or log out, delete an app, and I technically can't do it.
Right.
So in order for me to like be able to survive through that, I have to find things to keep me grounded and keep me sane, like meditating.
Yeah.
Boundaries,
Boundaries,
For sure.
friend.
That's number one.
That's one of the biggest things.
definitely boundaries, and communication. I had to learn how to not just hold my feelings in. I used to be scared of like hurting people's feelings, and you cannot run a business and be worried about what the next person feels. So I had to like pray for proper communication on how to deliver how I'm feeling in the proper way, and things like that. So I just self-care. That's something that's important to me that a lot of people may not know about. And just make sure you find whatever yours looks like and just do it.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned
Thank
that
you.
word boundaries. I think that's one thing I struggle with because I've been in counseling for people pleasing for years. And just that, like the anxiety I get from disappointing somebody is crippling. And so me saying this out loud is kind of the first, like just openly. And just you being able to speak on it allow me to even just say that. So keep having that conversation. Like, I encourage you to do that, and thank you so much for
thank
that.
you for sharing
you.
that.
Because
That
you're
was
not
special.
alone in your battle and in your journey in that.
Thank you. And what I've noticed is that the more that I'm talking about it, I'm learning that, hey, the next person is dealing with the same thing.
Absolutely.
And the next person after them. So it's like, it's just one of those things that we don't talk about as much as we probably need to. So I'm trying to start, with myself of making sure I'm talking about that.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, Morgan, what's next? What's next for you?
Definitely our website.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's like keeping all of my time and attention right now. We are going to be launching a website soon called dateideasandthingstodo.com.
Love it.
The reason we're doing that is because with the groups, we get about 300 people a day that are trying to ask a question like, hey, where should I go for this? Or looking for, a restaurant with this atmosphere. And we can't approve them all because the groups would be super oversaturated. It wouldn't have as much impact. So we're creating this website that will have listings for each category of what you're looking for. And the coolest thing about it, I think, because it's going to be exclusive and focused on local and small-owned, minority-owned businesses, we want to keep that same reputation that our groups give. People know that if we put it in there, we believe in it, we feel that people should know about it. And we're going to keep that same mindset with our website. So people look out for that.
fun.
It sounds like a version of Airbnb.
No, for seriously.
it's very-
yeah.
But for
I really like it.
yeah.
That's what's taken me so long to launch it because we're not just doing, like a simple website. We made it to where the businesses can go on and build their profiles themselves. I don't have to manage it. I'm literally like just looking and making sure everything's looking good. But yeah.
Well, how cool is it that you've had all this success without a website, right? So as we think about business building and going into like our business plan, and people are like, have your website in place and have this, and it's just like, that's what's next for you.
Yeah.
So it comes back full circle to like, not there yet, but you're on your way.
And there's no special order.
That's it.
Can I tell you
Yeah.
a secret? Nobody knows this. It's kind of embarrassing. I'll give you this. I've been on People Magazine, Wall Street
Yeah.
Journal. We've sold out events, thousands of tickets, all of that. I don't have a business card.
I mean, and that's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I need to have one. I'm going to get one.
Right.
But I say that to say, don't allow anything to stop you.
Yes, there you go.
And slow you down.
There you go.
Just keep going. And the things that you need, they will come.
Yes.
They will come.
Yeah.
I mean, you are the epitome of the road less traveled.
Definitely. Definitely.
You are.
Thank you.
And y'all know where to find Morgan. Dad
Yes.
Ideas and Things to Do on Facebook. Y'all have an Instagram now. So just continue to stay tuned, stay locked in. Y'all, her events. I know Stacey does events with her too. Like, they be popping. I love it.
We brought the city out.
And we got more things in store.
Definitely.
So
Thank
definitely
you
for your partnership.
so
Thank you,
much,
Morgan.
Thank y'all so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yes. So thank you for listening to Not There Yet. Catch us every week for stories from our community about the road less traveled.